Alright guys, back at it again, and this time we got a much better movie than the previous review. One battle after another.
Listen, I was a part of the French 75.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana!
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home, and I cannot remember, for the life of my only child, the answer to your question.
Maybe you should have studied the rebellion text a little harder.
I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
You just...
Alright guys, so I did get to see the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo Dicaprio, his new movie, as well as Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, among others, Chase Infinity. A lot of really good cast. So basically, this movie takes the first 30 minutes is you're following Leonardo DiCaprio's character and Tiana Taylor's character as they are part of this revolutionary group, kind of lead this revolutionary group / I guess domestic terrorists, however you want to look at it. They are doing these jobs after job to make an impact and eventually Sean Penn's character, who plays this Colonel Lockjaw, awesome name by the way, he is after them, and after the first 30 minutes, the rest of the movie is kind of him eventually coming for Leonardo DiCaprio's character and his daughter, Willa, in the movie. And this movie, kind of like, the first 30 minutes is a lot of setup, prologue, very well done, and then you really get into it when you have the chasing. Well, we'll just go ahead and get into the positives. Great acting across the board. Leonardo DiCaprio, as always, is terrific. The guy just doesn't miss. I mean, at this point, you're like a broken record if you, like, that guy just doesn't miss. He's one of the greatest of all time. I love him and Benicio del Toro's chemistry in this movie. This movie has a lot of good pockets of humor, and I guess if you look it up, it says it's a comedy. I don't know if I'd go that far, but there's a lot of good humor in this movie, and it's very well done. And I just thought those two really blended well together. Like, they really meshed together, and there's a lot of good moments with those two involved. Also, Sean Penn is terrific in this movie as this evil colonel that's after this revolutionary group and after DiCaprio and Chase Infinity's characters, Willa and Bob. And he's just, it's a weird kind of evil. It's very weird performance, but I really dug it. I felt like it fit the film, as this movie's kind of an oddball at times. But I definitely really enjoyed his character. It's very different, crazy. But yeah, acting across the board is really good. I really appreciated the father and daughter in stuff that you get after the first 30 to 40 minutes. I think DiCaprio and Chase do a really good job chemistry-wise, and I just also like how they kind of went more in depth with that father-daughter relationship, and a lot of good jokes involved in there as well. And it really carries the movie at times, and I found that part really endearing. Like I said, this movie does a really good job of being dark and endearing, and then have some humor involved. I felt like it blended everything really well. I think this movie is super well done. I think it's one of the better movies of the year. I think in my short, I put movie of the year contender. That is definitely up there. I don't know how high, but it's definitely up there. And it definitely makes me want to go check out more Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I've not seen like a bunch of his movies. I've seen Punch Drunk Love. I've seen Licorice Pizza, but I've not seen a ton of his. So I definitely want to go out and check out more of his. This movie definitely makes me want to do that for sure. Positives-wise, you have great performances, really good balance of dramatic, that tension, suspense, comedy, and I feel like it does a good job, and we'll see. I know there'll probably be people on both sides of this movie, because it's definitely going to be a political divisive film, unfortunately, because that's just the way it is. But and I'm not gonna take either side because I'm leave me out of that. But it's definitely gonna. I thought it did a good job of kind of making both sides not look great, where you kind of was rooting against both sides, in my opinion. But I could see how one side might just differ on that opinion. I don't know. But yeah, I think this movie is really well done. And to get into the negatives, there's not much. I'll say going into this movie, I was kind of thinking it was something it wasn't. This is just me not really reading into the movie, so it's more of a me thing. So I don't really know that I have a ton of negatives. It's a longer film, but I don't really feel like you feel it. I mean, I think the prologue area does a really good job of setting you up, getting you immersed in this world, and then the second half, or even like, you know, the next hour and 30 minutes does a good job of like keeping you on this ride with these characters, but also like blending, like I said, these pockets of humor that make you not too down in the dumps. I just think this movie's really well done. There's some cringy dialogue moments, I will say that, but I think they're on purpose. So I kind of gave it a pass, but there are some dialogue stuff that were a bit iffy at times. So like, if I was going to say any negatives, that would probably be it. Because like, it would, I don't want to say it would take you out, but like, you had to like almost jump into like, oh, I get it, this is what they're going for in this movie, but the dialogue is kind of iffy. It's a bit, I don't want to say, it's definitely not jarring, but it's just odd. But like when you have somebody like Sean Penn's character, like you kind of, he's so immersed in this weird oddball performance, you're just in for the ride. But yeah, as far as the grade goes, as we're getting into grading it, I think this movie is really, really good. I think I'm gonna go A minus. A minus A. It's in that range. I definitely think it's movie of the year contender. It's going to be in a lot of people's Oscar buzz around that time. We're really getting into that time at this point. This is Oscar season. I think A minus A is kind of where I would go, but I'll stick with an A minus grade. But yeah, guys, that's my review for One Battle After Nelly. Please like, comment, subscribe. Is this one of your favorite movies? Are you more on the fence about it? Did you not like it as much? Let me know what you didn't or what you did like about it. Well, what's your favorite performance? Let me know down in the comments. I have a lot of films. Well, I have 3 films coming up review-wise. I think, so we got Good Boy, we got Smashing Machine, the new Rock UFC film I'm really excited for. And then I think the other one's called Bone Lake. That movie I don't know much about, but I've heard really good things, so we'll see. But with that being said, guys, as I always say, I'll see you next time.